Yo, check, check, check. It's your boy DJ L7. Yeah, it's time for another morning. So, today I'm actually going to go over some of this stuff regarding the Unified Platform for 22. We're going to take a look at some of the stuff that went down. So, let's give me a second while I get a drink for myself, and then I'm going to share my screen actually so you guys could see. Actually, I'll do that right now while I get my drink. So, take a look. Yeah. What you're looking at is actually my this is my mailing list, so you're going to be able to see how many people opened my, how many people I emailed, what's the list and everything. We're going to go over all the metrics in a moment. Give me a second. All right. All right, sorry about that. I'm back. All right, let's get to it. Okay, so here we can see. Let me turn on my camera here. Sorry about that. My mouth started drying up real quick when I started talking. All right, so first of all, let's go back to seeing the original emails that were sent. So let's go. Okay, so this is back in January, so the UP22 wasn't really active at that point. I did have an earlier one. I talked about the UP22 being in gear, right? So this was kind of like when I was setting up. Now we take a look over here, and this is the interview request form. So that's really how I started off, right? Telling people that I want to interview. So let's take a look at what's going on with that. Let's view the report. Okay, this list grows significantly. At first I have 985 recipients, and I start quite small. So here we could see, take a look at who actually read the email first of all. Okay, so at some point actually I do have several injections of large numbers of actual candidates. When I first started, I was doing it by hand, and I'm ready to do it if necessary. So I do believe that the way that they March. I think that the way that this goes is right. Why are they in this order? I think the people that opened it last are at the top. I think what happens is, it's just what I've noticed. It might be true, it might be not true, but I do tend to notice that the names I don't recognize are at the top when I come back and check these things. So you can see there's quite a few people like Vote for Com, elect Lizzie Robbins. You can see that many of the people who are checking Woodhouse for NC, right, for Juan for Congress, a lot of the people who did actually open the email out of my mailing list are people who are actually running. Let's see if any press opened this, because I do have records of press having opened these emails as well, even though they've never really talked about it. Blake Rabin for Senate. Once again, I do think most of the people are actually going to be for Congress, right? Brandon for Congress at gmail.com. So a lot of these people are actually running for position, and you're going to see that actually hundreds of people do open the email, but the participation is quite a bit lower. We're going to take a look at what I think is going to happen with the actual platform now. So this guy's actually Jeff Young. I do recognize his email, so even though it's like Energetic22, it's not actually just a random person. Okay, we're almost at the end here. I do feel like the press usually open this stuff up earlier. They're probably more interested in what goes on in a acute basis. Once again, we just see Alex for Arizona, Mark Cook for Senate. There's going to be a lot of people who are actually opening this who are actually candidates. So out of the candidates, I did get back to pretty much practically everybody who was willing to do the interview. And we see that once again, this is almost at the end of the list. We're still looking at, Team and Dorillas. Russ is for us at gmail.com. So we see a bunch of candidates here, hundreds of them actually. Hassan, Del Solis for Congress, Illinois for Dell. A lot of these candidates. And out of these about 500, almost every single one of them is a candidate Chelsea for WNC, Western North Carolina, I don't even know. Later on, this is going to change as I start to import more email addresses into this list. But for right now, these are all candidates, and we have about 500 to start with. That's interesting. Okay, let's go back to the thing over here. So that's the first email. We have 500 sent out, and then I start to actually get my list of candidates right now. And that's going to be about, I think we have on the website, we have I think 25 different people who, about 25 candidates who participated. There may be more who have interested, but let's go and switch to this one over here. And let's see. Well, how my Filipino ladies ended up. Anyways, what am I going to see? Shit, okay. Discussion panels. Yes. Okay, so we have 27 videos. So yeah, about 25 different candidates that participated with the program in the one-on-one interviews. Some of these people were able to participate in the discussion panel, some were not. So that's interesting. Let's go back and let's take a look. So after we send this first one about the first one that invited to the interview, then we start having disability newsletter, different events, environment right to repair events, and let's take a look at how who takes a look at those and how this changes as time goes on. So first we start with 500, right? That's okay. Now we take a look at the next one, which I think the very first one was the criminal justice reform panel, right? So first we had this one, which was 523 opens, 52 clicks. Now, not everybody who opens is going to be seen by the system, but anyways, yeah. So then I did a resend, so there's another 150 opens. So now we achieved about 20 candidates right in that first initial push. We got a nice number of candidates already, right there. You could see, right? And then 13 states and we're growing, right? So you see that the initial thing was pushed fast, and we got 770 opens on that one. So we started the number of people, it was a nice little blast out, right? It's a cool idea. Interest grew quickly, and let's take a look at who's opening it now, right? Oops. Okay. Quote 20 representing. Yeah. Here's the documents available. Yeah. Anyway, so let's go and take a look at the. Hopefully, some press opens at that point, right? So let's take a look at that. I'm gonna start opening these in new windows, so you don't have to go back and forth to this scroll so much. So let's go to okay. So once again, we're going back down to the okay, let's take a look at the report here. Okay, let's see who opened that. So now we see once again that we see Chelsea for WNC again. Bonten Lamand, whatever that is. Let's expand this out. And I knew that press was opening this as well. Oh, that's cool. Z Roseborough, she's actually a performer in my. We did a performance in Union Square Park together, and also she did some work with me on public housing. ncnewday.com may be a news outlet, may not be. We saw that one over there. NIPERG, open the email over here. Joining Acevedo, I know she has her own, she's also press. So, actually we've done some stuff on public housing together. We have a candidate that I worked with before, NIPAN. Right, Progressive Action Network. Their candidates could be working with us. Kim Iverson. Kim Iverson's seen this project. She's not talking about it, right? You'd think that Kim Iverson, all right, yeah, out of Asian American brother right here, I mean, you shouldn't really talk about those issues, right? But it would be nice. Another thing that would be, a unique project where you have candidates from across the nation, right? Breaking ranks with party leadership, getting over the partisan bullshit so we can just have some common sense shit, right? Kim Iverson show would be nice, Kim. But I'm actually going to be forwarding this to the Vanguard at the end of this program. Ryan Grimm, Jimmy Dore, and all these other people that talk about like joining the right and the left. And I think they're on the Baylor list too. You may see them pop up at some point, right? I do believe that also Rana from Shoot with Naipan and also Justice Democrats, People's Party of Washington State. They could be participating. I think they blanked out Snugs for Life. That's going to be that's dude from Medicare for All March here in New York. He kind of walked away though because it was like mad white. I don't think he could stick with that. Oh, here's New York Times. Livia.ar at New York Times. So we see a bunch of candidates are still interested. They're not really participating that much, and I do feel that a lot of the language surrounding Unified Platform 22 was actually critical of party leadership for creating fiefdoms and not really, and discouraging participation. They could prove me wrong. The leaders of any of these parties, Greens, Libertarians, Democrats, Independents, parties. I mean, actually, we'll talk about that in a moment. One of them did. We have Republicans, Democrats. They could have participated with this and said, look, I'm also sick of this bullshit not getting shit done. Fuck the labels. Let's just see what we can agree on, have a real conversation, and move shit forward. But I do feel like party leadership was really telling a lot of the candidates underneath not to participate with this program. Some of them had already participated, though. And I believe that they were pressured to stop participating. Anyways, let's continue on. You have 700 once again, yeah? So you can see the numbers of the interest is growing at this point, right? Brooklyner, right? That's also a press thing. Another New York Times right here. This is actually the guy from the head of the Tulsi crew. His name's Prince. He got mad, but hey, I'm a passionate guy. I'm not mad at Prince. I hope one day we could talk. Maybe I'll send you an email. If you're still checking my emails, I'll send them to you. Yo, some shit went down funny with the Tulsi crew here in New York City, though. So, oh, Franco opened it. That's interesting. Okay, that's nice. Franco can't talk about me anymore. Met Council for the Housing. I'm working on public housing right now. Yeah. Stand with Assange. Oh my God, I've done so much for the Assange movement. Yeah. Paperboy Prince. So we could see like a lot of people that I do personally know are opening as well. They're just wanting to get spurs in here. NBC New York opened it. To NBC New York. They opened it 3 times, right? So here's another one from New York Times. So we can see that the people at these press outlets, they know about this. They know about this, right? They know about this project right here, but they are not reporting on it. So now, what happens is that Vincent Mago, that's my man. We was at the Wall Street Bets protest together. Anyway, so look, there's still like Molly for Vermont, Reynoso for Brooklyn, right? Yeah, Simon for California. There's a lot of these candidates, right? They're looking repeatedly. You're gonna see, as time goes on over months, they are scared to participate. Let's go back to over here. So we could see that this was 770 opens. Let's go to the next one, and that was when? That was in March. We're all the way in July now, right? So, okay. Now we have this one, the criminal justice reform, and now we're 820 opens, 22 clicks, right? So let's take a look at how this goes. So let me open this one in detail. So let's see when we start to have, and we had our first event. It was pretty kicking. Despite this, you're going to see the ending here is actually troubling So stay tuned, right? It's not just me going over these numbers, but these numbers tell a story. So we're gonna see how this goes. There are some unsubscribed tiers too, right? And we'll see who's unsubscribing. Now, some people will be. We see a lot. Most of these are actually candidates again. You know, Danny U.S. Senate, Gabe for Congress, friends of Christine Scott. Trust me, a lot of people are candidates. And what happens is sometimes they are actually the Bronx Green Party opened it up. Sometimes these people are going to be losing the primary. Sometimes they're going to drop from the race. And these people, right, while they're willing to be leaders, they're not really willing to continue the fight after that leadership title is gone. Their passion for fixing this problem is only when they have the strength or the power to really do the project, I guess, or something, right? They say where there's no pain, there's no urgency. So they're not really going to continue working on the problem after the opportunity, I guess, is gone. My question is, will they really work on it if they are given the position anyways? Oh, info at Tulsi. Tulsi opened it. That's nice. I didn't think Tulsi was opening my emails anymore. Anyways, yeah, that's unfortunate. Whatever. So Tammy Duckworth opened this. You'll see later on there are emails going on between myself and Tammy Duckworth's office on a actual one-on-one basis. So we're going to get to that later on in my emails over here. We're going to get to that. But right now we're still going over this, and we're going to see that so this is really, I would say, when things are really firing off the most. 44.7, it goes up a little bit, right? And then I think after this it starts to drop, right? So you're going to see that it goes down to from 873. This really peaks at the second one, right? And I really kind of led off with a bang, right? I really felt that the criminal justice was a hot topic, and also economics is also a hot topic. A lot of these armchair economic theorists out here, they love to spew this and that. So you're going to see, I would like to show at some point that Rana does actually open these emails. That's someone from NIPAN, people from Justice Democrats. They definitely got these emails. You can see that we have some work earlier with Jamal Bowman. I have done some, gotten disabilities on the stuff with those guys, and you'll see me showing up at their events. These people do know me, believe it or not. Where is that one? Yeah, this one, okay. Where's the Jamal Bowman? Okay. Oh yeah, see? This is me and Jamal Bowman chilling by National Action Network, because actually, look, I know people say, who's Jim? But, my people with disabilities, we needed some help. And we reached out to all the candidates that were, not candidates, but, already elected officials, asking for help with some things. And I believe Jamal Bowman's running again. And the Justice Democrats, when we hit up AOC, and I get it, AOC's real busy. The thing is, I've been hitting up for a long time. She's never gotten back to me. So she's not really accessible. But Jamal Bowman's people are slightly more accessible. Another thing that happened with Justice Dems, and I don't think it's really 100% Justice Dems' fault, right? But AOC and Jamal Bowman are surrounded by people that want themselves to kind of come up. So they're actually, and Jamal and AOC, I hope this message gets to you. I know that your handlers will probably tell you not to watch this, but your handlers and the people around you, they want to come up themselves. So honest players like myself, they find ways to cut me down or isolate me or silo me so they can be the stars, and they don't want anybody else. Still, however, right, you still have to address the disabilities issue, so I'm on that side of things, and we're going to end up, once again, you see us like together here at this point. So he actually did put some disability stuff on his platform. He was responsive to us, and I thank him for that, and I look forward to working with him in the future. Anyways, so Justice Dems, we do have the AOC once again. I've never really gotten to, she may be coming online to do some stuff with our public housing. We'll have to see what happens with that. The Green NYCHA, there's concerns there that we need to talk about. Anyways, yeah, okay. Economics Forum. So now what happens is that the numbers for the medical reform panel goes down a little bit, right? It's not from, so we have a dip. That's a significant dip from almost 875 to almost 625, I guess, right? Yeah. Just to like have like, that's a percentage. That's like maybe, it's not a quarter, but significant. Yeah. Getting there. All right. And that's to be expected, right? You're going to have the first, the second, a sequel has to somehow outdo the previous ones. So we still have the medical reform, and we have 670 open, so it starts to drop. That's concerning. 700 for the American Union. That's nice. So it comes back up. Maybe it was who knows why. I don't know why that happened. That's good though, right? Maybe this labor stuff again. American Union is not actually labor unions. This is actually another topic. Yeah, Brian is actually, that's on my emails quite prominently. And on the things over here, let's take a look at this over here. What's one thing that's prompted this over here is you can see that there's only, I have two versions. One for the public voting, which has 0 responses at this point, and this one over here, which has 3 responses from the candidates. We're going to get to some of those metrics in a moment. Let's get to the running through the pathway of, we'll see if there's a decline, because I think it really kind of stands steady around 600. So there's that drop from 800 to 600, and I think it kind of stands steady. So take a look. The Reform Panel 670, American Union 700, about 600, right? Environment Right to Repair. Then we have about 650 for the women's event, about 600 for the corporate accountability, 800 for the final panels of public housing. Okay. I don't know why that jumped. Okay, but I'll just still say 600. I don't know why that jumped. Okay, that jumped. Whatever. Okay. Swaraj Patel. Okay, that was 900 opens. This was actually a separate issue. Doesn't talk about UP22. UP22 does get mentioned on here, but really, I get it, Swaraj. 900 opens for the education panel. God damn. Wait. I thought it was dropping. Wait, 900 and then another 1,100 opens. Oh. Well, I did not realize that. Anyways, yeah, look, it's a good thing we go over this, right? The final discussion panel had 900 opens. Okay, so it's actually been heading upwards. Okay, I did not even, okay. Okay, so now we have the proposal deadline, and there was actually a delay on this one. So I was supposed to get this out for July 4th, but then I really wanted to go over the document, and I was a little burned out and depressed. And we'll talk about some of those things as well. Why? So, okay. Well, I mean, the opening rate is good, right? So the 120 clicks, so that's not bad, I guess. Okay, let's go to the most recent ones and see what really leads to these particular forms, and why I kind of had the feeling that the response rate would be low. And I'll start to make these because I think it's also a good thing for you to realize that I make a lot of these calls early. I start to recognize these trends, and I want you guys to also to learn how to do this and start to recognize the trends yourself, right? Have a discussion below about what you think is going on. So the American Union 700, we get to the top here. Okay. We have the proposal deadline. Okay. This one over here is something separate, right? This is 22 open, but this is actually only went to a very small number of people. So the voting form links itself has about 600 open, so that's why, right? I was really focused on 600 number, and even though the numbers went to 900, the reasons why I did not really was impressed by those numbers shooting up with the reading of the emails was because the actual events themselves with the discussion panels were not more heavily attended. Some people did come through at the end, but they were not climbing, right? Originally we had a very Republican, we had a Democrat, we had independents, and we're going to talk about one of those independents in a moment. And at the last one, right, but the originals, the turnout was just not the same, right? We still had we had two Democrats here. We had an activist, right? Activist and also another activist. So we only had 2 candidates at the end, whereas before we really started with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. And we had 5 on a regular basis, and they kind of petered out. And also the number of views here, we can see the number of views here was 200. I pushed this quite hard. 50, 60, and then we see it dropping to the 30s. So, as in terms of like involvement, right, with the actual, 20s, right, then we go back to the 30s, right? So the amount of interest in the actual programming itself was not really there, and even though people were reading the email, right, were they really going to go in and submit proposals for the unified platform? Let's take a look at this over here. So when we look at the unified platform, these are the candidates that actually helped work on this. And this is a pretty badass list right here, right? These are all the different candidates that I've talked to in terms of building this project right here. I think this is significant. We have, once again, Democrats, Republicans, Independents, Libertarians, right? Greens around here somewhere. I'm a Green. Brent Wilson is a Green. And we also have Matt Ho somewhere, right? Yeah, Matt Ho is a Green. So we have all the parties represented in this coalition right here from states all over. New York, Kentucky, North Carolina, Indiana, Texas, Maryland, Illinois. This is a significant project right here, right? But the thing is that a lot of these candidates right here, only, I would say a fraction of them, maybe 20% of them, maybe less, actually made proposals to this document here. Yeah. And out of that, the very few that did make proposals, now you can see the number of them that are really responding, right? Or it was low, and I get it, right? The thing is that if the press does not cover this event, then the candidate has to make a opportunity cost decision, and they have to say, if I get involved with this project, which is a unique coalition of people bringing ranks of the party, a very popular idea to just get common sense change done, and we'll take a look at some of the different proposals that were made that we might be able to get a nonpartisan coalition to agree on, such as ending qualified immunity, such as maybe, getting rid of bail processing charges, or legalizing drugs, just, ending predatory pricing in prison commissaries, things like that. There's maximum 15 days solitary confinement as per UN standards. There's a lot of different things that we might be able to get unanimous agreement on. But only if they vote and only if they express. There's a power that the candidates have now. Can you imagine 900 candidates came together and all said, right, that they support, ending the death penalty? The leadership would have to deal with that. That's why the leadership, I'm sure, that's why the Justice Democrats cannot participate in something like this. And if you see them in this list of having opened the email, where is Rada? I know Rada's part of the crew. Tammy Duckworth, she opened it, yeah? Actually, I had sent an email. Let's go back to this over here. Let's go and look for Tammy. What's up, Tammy? Yes. I did have a women's issues. Right? I invited to the women's issues, and I also invited to the military reform panel. Permaculture Mom is going to be my co-host. That's Lisa from LA. And coalition candidates running from every single candidate running for U.S. House and Senate and state governor. And we have next coalition is going to attend, Matt Ho and Jeff Young, running for House in Kentucky. Yeah. So they looked at this email, right? He's from Senator Duckworth's office, but I guess they just didn't, they couldn't attend. That's sad. Look, I know she's busy doing other things, but you would think that maybe even a representative, right, could come in to participate in this event. So the thing is that, right, even the people who are in the public, even my friends, right, there's about 180 questions here on this document. It's going to take about an hour, maybe an hour and a half to answer all the questions. But the opportunity cost to actually create a document like this, which is I think it's historically significant. I'm also blackballed in the industry. You're going to notice that in New York City, there's other content producers such as Caleb Maupin, such as there's going to be other producers like Blue Moon Red Wine, Ricky Rants, and they're all white. And I'm not mad at white people, you know what I mean? But don't you think that's a little weird? It's a little weird. There's no space for an Asian American voice in the progressive movement. You know, it's true. Anyways, so the thing is that this is going to end on the 14th. There's 3 more days. And we look at this right now. I'm about to send the resend. So let me grab my phone. I'm going to do that. Yeah. Once we reach it's around 7 o'clock. I'm going to refluff this in people's email box. Because since it's on a Sunday, there's probably another reason why it's getting fewer opens. Wait. Okay. So let's take. The number of opens increases dramatically. But wait a second. Hold up a second. There's something that you guys should know about that. Let's go back and take a look at something. Okay. You're going to notice that before, right, I was at 900 people on the mailing list or something, right? The 900 opens. So the number pumps up significantly. Let's go to the education reform. That's really where it goes up dramatically. Because I actually emailed I just researched like all week, where I just sat here and just found a whole shit ton of different emails for student governments across the country. Education reform. Okay. And you're going to see that the 3,000 recipients, right? Now the number of recipients I think it was before 900. It went up a lot, right? First of all, more people end up running, so that list went up, right? The number of candidates, so there was an injection of new candidates into the list. And also there's the student governments. And we'll take a look at who opened them. You're going to see a lot of, before it was candidates, now you're going to see student governments opening it. Once again we have people for Alaska, Pat Hahn for Senate, Harder for Congress, Charles Booker, John Maitland for Congress, Castelli for Congress. Oh, is Castelli the one that attended the event that I didn't give credit to? I have to look that up. Okay. Hartford.edu, we see what's over here, PRVP. So, Candy opened it. Oh my god. So just so you know, I'm going to do an episode on cotton candy. I'm a big fan of cotton candy. I should ask him to come on my show. Anyways, yeah, so, if you see really the most recent one, I remember that NYU was really kind of like the first ones to crack it. So let's go to the last ones. The students ones were really checking out more, but you're going to see that no students have replied, right? And I'll show my email, right? But no student government at heartland.edu, right? All these EDUs, right? They're the first ones to have opened the email. SGA, right? Yeah, that means the Student Government Association. Queens.edu, Colorado.edu. So on the education one, right, and the New York Times is opening it too. Dennis Consorte, he's like Larry Sharp's guy. Student government at nyu.edu, right? They were the first ones to open it. That's why I remember, right? So later on, the candidates got the opening of their emails. They're very busy. They're running around to events, and if this event is not going to get press, I'm sure these candidates are being told that I'm blackballed in the industry, because the thing is that the media works with the party leadership, and they control, because the party leadership gives them access, right? So the list grew. So the thing is that when people are opening it, right, remember that the list is growing. So when you look at like 900 people opening it, you got to think about like at least probably like maybe 300 of them are going to be student organizations. So I still think that the candidates that's opening is like still remaining around 600. That's why in my, right, you see the numbers shooting up, but I had still mentally, right, with the numbers that I had added in the mailing list, it made sense for the for me to think that the numbers still floating at 600. So I also put this on a bunch of Facebook groups. These are some incredible ideas right here, and if we can once again get 600, even 200 candidates, right, breaking ranks with party leadership, even 100 candidates from around the nation breaking ranks with party leadership, to show that we can agree on certain things like, you know, ending, you know, the ridiculous free flow of wealth to the top, and, you know, we're not even allowed to know if our foods are GMOs or not. Like, just these are just simple things that people can agree on, and if we can get those things passed, right, the right to repair our own devices, things like that, a real examination of our educational system and why it's still so overpriced. If we could really get these candidates to agree on that, then that would be an amazing thing. But in this case now, it's up to you. So the news media has nothing to gain from you engaging in this type of activity, right? They're being paid a lot of money from the people that matter, from the people that are trying to run shit, to actually not let something like this go on. Even though this is what they will admit, that this is what you want. So, let me go and find. I know Ron was opening the earlier ones. I don't know if Ron is still opening them. Let's take a look at any other Singtao. I do want to see some other candidates that are opening this. New York Times is still opening at this late stage. I saw, yeah, Kim Barker at New York Times is opening this email. So we could see that there's quite a few people that are actually. Nyberg is opening this one. Wendy from the Forward Party is opening this email. Meg 2020, whoever that is, Ryan for Colorado. A lot of people are actually checking this out. So, Greg Russ. Greg Russ opened this email. That's hilarious. Greg Russ is actually the head of 19. We're actually trying to get him fired, so that's interesting, yeah. Queen's Courier opened this email. That's nice. So the local papers, I just hooked up with a group called Tenants Association that has press, what they say, with Brooklyn News or something, so we'll see if we can get into that one. That will be interesting. So, by the way, if put in the comments to this video if you have anything that you would like to see as in terms of just getting a better understanding for what's going on with this program and how it was organized, how it was developed, and how I really put people onto this list here. Let me go check just see if there's anybody in the chat right now. Maybe any questions I could answer. Okay, we have a couple people here. Okay, Jen Flute is on. That's cool. Nice to meet you. Activate, rejuvenate, but don't placate. Be your own, and like the stream. Hey, that's cool. All right. Thanks. We need critical thinking. Time for me to sleep. Okay, Lisa's up. Contact political science departments too. Student government kids are really busy. Okay. I will. That's a good idea. So I will actually be getting them at them as well. So, thanks for checking it out. If you have any questions about this particular project and who I got at, I do know that now what's going to happen is I'm going to be there's only 3 days left in voting for this particular project, so I'm going to actually email a bunch of people personally and ask them to participate and see what we can do with getting some real stuff going on here with this platform. Thank you.